A woman posts a single sentence on Threads. It says, "My contractor ghosted me mid-project, took $40,000 in deposits, and left my kitchen without a ceiling for 11 weeks. Update coming." That post gets 42,000 likes before she posts the update. The update is not what anyone expected. The contractor calls her the morning after she posts it, not to apologize, to threaten legal action for defamation. She screenshots the threat. She posts it. It gets 97,000 likes. What happens in the 72 hours after that turns a home renovation dispute into a situation that ends with the contractor losing his license, his bond, and 3 other active contracts simultaneously. He made one phone call he should not have made. She posted one screenshot she had every right to post, and the internet did the rest. That is story 1. Story 2 involves a woman who discovers that her business partner has been submitting their jointly developed product to competitions under his name only. He has won 4 times, 4 awards sitting in his office, her name on none of them. She does not confront him. She submits the product to the largest competition in their industry under her name only. She wins. The ceremony is attended by their entire professional network. He is in the audience. And story 3 is the one that has been shared more than 400,000 times on Threads in the last 6 months. A man who has been parking in his neighbor's reserved spot for 2 years, despite being asked repeatedly to stop, wakes up one morning to find his car perfectly, legally, and permanently impossible to move. His neighbor is a retired traffic court judge who spent one afternoon and $37 making that happen. Stay with me. Welcome back to Venture and Karma. Let's get into it. Story number 1. The screenshot. Diane had saved for 3 years to renovate her kitchen. She was a single mother of 2. She worked as a hospital administrator. She was not wealthy by any measure that involves having money left over at the end of the month, but she was methodical and patient, and she had put aside a fixed amount every paycheck for 36 months until she had enough to do the project properly. $40,000, a new kitchen, a ceiling that had been water damaged for 2 years, new flooring through the ground floor. Work she had been told would take 8 weeks. She hired a contractor named Brett, who had good reviews on a home services platform, a professional website, and a confident manner in the estimate meeting that she had found reassuring. He took a 40% deposit up front, $16,000. Work began on Monday. For the first 2 weeks, it went reasonably well. The ceiling came down, the old cabinets were removed, there was progress. Then Brett started arriving late. Then he started not arriving. He had explanations for everything: a supplier delay, a family situation, another project that had run over and needed his immediate attention. By week 6, Diane's kitchen had no ceiling, no cabinets, exposed wiring, and a contractor she was speaking to increasingly through text messages that took longer and longer to receive replies to. She sent a formal letter requesting a completion timeline. He replied with a vague commitment. She followed up. He stopped responding. At week 11, with 2 children eating microwaved meals in a house with a tarpaulin where the kitchen used to be, Diane opened Threads and typed one sentence. She named the contractor. She described the situation factually. She said, "Update coming." She went to bed. She woke up to 42,000 likes and 400 comments. Most of the comments were from people sharing similar experiences. 6 of those 6 people were from other clients of Brett's who were in various stages of the same situation. 2 of those 6 people had paid deposits in the past 4 months. 1 had paid a deposit 3 weeks ago, and Brett had not yet started their project. Diane replied to each of them. She asked them to document everything and keep it private for now. At 9:15 the following morning, Brett called her. He did not call to apologize. He called to tell her that what she had posted was defamatory, damaging to his business, and that he had spoken to an attorney who had advised him to pursue legal action if the post was not removed within 24 hours. Diane listened to this. She said, "Everything I wrote is factually accurate and documented. I will not be removing it." He became loud. She said, "This call is being recorded for my protection. Please contact my attorney going forward." She did not have an attorney. She ended the call. She looked at her phone for a moment. She opened Threads and posted the screenshot of the threat. She wrote beneath it, "He just called to threaten me with defamation."
I can talk now.
These are his exact words. "Everything in my original post is documented and true." 97,000 likes. What happened in the following 48 hours was not something Diane orchestrated. She did not make calls or send emails or coordinate anything. She went to work, she came home to her tarpaulin kitchen, she put her children to bed. What happened was this. 3 journalists who covered consumer protection stories saw the post and began making calls. A licensing board investigator in her state, whose job it was to monitor exactly this kind of complaint pattern, saw the post and cross-referenced Brett's license number with the complaint database. 2 of Brett's current clients, who were not on Threads, but whose family members had seen the screenshot post, called those clients and told them to check the contract they had signed. And the 6 other clients who had commented on Diane's original post spent that evening, at Diane's suggestion, filing formal complaints with the licensing board simultaneously. 7 complaints filed in one evening about the same license number triggered an automatic review flag in the system. The licensing board contacted Brett on Thursday morning. He was simultaneously dealing with the journalist who had left 3 messages, 2 current clients who had issued stop work notices, and a bonding company that had become aware of the situation and had questions about his outstanding deposit obligations. His license was suspended pending investigation by the following Tuesday. Without a license, he could not legally operate. Without a bond, he could not legally contract. 3 active projects stopped. The investigation found a pattern of deposit collection and non-completion across 9 clients over 14 months. The total in unearned deposits was over $200,000. Brett's license was revoked 6 months later. He was ordered to make restitution to all 9 clients. Diane received a full refund of her deposit. She hired a different contractor. Her kitchen took 4 weeks. The ceiling is flat and white and exactly what she asked for. She posted a final update on Threads. It was 3 sentences. She said the kitchen was done. She said she had received her money back. She said, "Sometimes posting one factual sentence is enough. The rest takes care of itself." That post got 61,000 likes.
Story number 2. The Submission. Kwame and Jason had started their product design consultancy together 7 years ago. They were equal partners in the business, equal in title, equal in equity, equal in the work, or at least that was the agreement. The product they were most known for was a modular workplace organizing system they had developed over 18 months. It was genuinely innovative. It had been picked up by 3 major corporate clients. It was the foundation of the firm's reputation. Both of them had built it. Kwame had developed the initial concept and the design language. Jason had refined the structural engineering and managed the prototyping. There was no version of the product that existed without both of them. Kwame discovered in year 5 of the partnership that Jason had been entering the product into industry awards and submitting it under his name only. Not the firm's name, his personal name, as the designer and developer. He had won 4 times. The awards were physical. They were in Jason's office. Kwame had seen them and had assumed, because Jason had never said otherwise, that they were submitted under the firm. He drove back to the office. He went into his own office and closed the door. He sat there for a long time. He thought about what to do. He thought about confrontation. He thought about the partnership agreement. He thought about what he knew about Jason's instincts in a conflict, which was that Jason became defensive, legalistic, and very good at reframing the facts in a way that made him look reasonable. He decided not to confront him. He had a different idea. He spent 3 evenings over the following 2 weeks preparing a submission. The industry's most significant award program had its submission deadline in 6 weeks. Kwame had attended the ceremony 3 times. He knew the format. He knew the judges' criteria. He knew what a winning submission looked like because he had helped build 4 of them without being credited for any. He submitted the product under his name, not the firm, not Jason, his name alone, with full documentation of his role in the concept development, the design language, the client implementation process, documentation he had because he had done the work and had kept records in the way that careful people keep records. He told no one. He went to work every day. He sat in meetings with Jason. He discussed current projects. He said nothing. The shortlist was announced 8 weeks later. Kwame's submission was on it. He still said nothing to Jason. The ceremony was at a hotel in the city. Both of them attended. The firm was a sponsor. They had a table with 6 people from their team, 2 current clients, and Jason's wife, who had come to most of these events over the years and who had always been warm to Kwame. Kwame had told his wife what he was doing. She was sitting beside him. She held his hand under the table during the dinner. The award in their category was announced. The presenter read Kwame's name. He stood up. He walked to the stage. He accepted the award. He thanked his clients. He thanked his team. He said that the product had been built over 18 months of work that he was proud of, and that he was grateful to finally be able to stand here and receive recognition for it. He did not look at Jason during the speech. He looked at his wife. He came back to the table. He set the award down. He picked up his wine glass. Jason did not say anything for a long time. Then he said, "I didn't know you submitted." Kwame said, "I know." That was the end of the conversation at the table. 3 weeks later, Kwame initiated a formal review of the partnership agreement. He came to that meeting with documentation of the 4 previous award submissions, showing the misattribution across all of them. He came with a proposal for the partnership's restructuring that reflected the accurate history of who had developed what. Jason hired an attorney. The attorney reviewed the documentation. The attorney advised Jason that the award submission records, combined with the product development documentation Kwame held, created a significant evidentiary challenge to any counterargument about attribution or contribution. The partnership restructured. Kwame's equity stake increased. The firm's award history was formally corrected on the industry organization's records. All 4 previous awards were updated to reflect joint authorship. The 5th award sits on Kwame's desk. His name on it, no asterisk, no joint credit, just his. He posted about it on Threads 18 months after it happened. He did not name Jason. He described the situation and the submission and the outcome and ended the post with one line. He wrote, "Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is submit your work under your own name and let the work speak." The post was shared 48,000 times. He still runs the firm. The partnership dissolved by mutual agreement 6 months after the ceremony. Kwame bought Jason's equity at fair value. The firm's name did not change. It never had either of their names in it. He always thought that was the right call.
2 stories. Diane, with 1 sentence and a screenshot, who watched a licensing board do in 48 hours what 11 weeks of direct communication had failed to do. And Kwame, who said nothing, submitted his work under his name and let the stage at an award ceremony say everything he had never said in that office. Both of them made the same fundamental choice. They did not argue. They did not escalate verbally. They did not try to persuade the person who had wronged them. They redirected their energy towards a system that was built to recognize exactly what they had. Diane had documentation and a licensing board. Kwame had documentation and a submission form. They both understood something that the third person in tonight's stories also understood, which is that the most durable responses are the ones that use existing structures correctly, not dramatically, not loudly, correctly. The third story is different from the first 2 in one important way. It cost $37. It took 1 afternoon, and it is the most legally precise, most quietly satisfying, and most widely shared revenge story on Threads in the past 6 months. Story number 3. The parking spot. Ray had lived in the same apartment building for 11 years. He was 68 years old. He was retired from 30 years on the traffic court bench. He was, by every measure, a person who understood traffic law at the level most people understand their own names. His apartment came with 1 reserved parking spot, assigned, marked with his unit number, documented in his lease, legally his. The man who moved into the unit above him 2 years ago was named Patrick. Patrick had a truck, a large truck, and Patrick had decided, without discussion or permission or any apparent concern, that Ray's parking spot was a reasonable place to put it. Ray spoke to Patrick the first time it happened. Patrick was apologetic.
He said he had not realized. He moved the truck. It happened again the following week. Ray knocked on Patrick's door. Patrick was apologetic again. He said he kept forgetting. He moved the truck. Over the following 3 months, it happened 11 more times. Ray knocked on doors. Ray left notes. Ray spoke to the building manager, who spoke to Patrick, who was apologetic to the building manager, and then parked in Ray's spot the following Tuesday. Ray escalated to the building's management company. They sent a formal letter. Patrick signed the acknowledgement. He parked in Ray's spot the following Thursday. Ray had been patient for 2 years. He was not an impatient person. He had spent 30 years on a bench listening to people explain why the rules did not apply to them. He was familiar with the type. He decided to stop being patient. He spent one afternoon. He made 4 phone calls and visited 2 offices. The first thing he did was contact the city's parking enforcement division. He requested the specific documentation requirements for having a privately owned assigned parking spot formally registered in the city's towing authorization system. This was not a commonly known process. Most people did not know it existed. Ray knew it existed because he had presided over cases involving it. The process was straightforward. He needed his lease documentation showing the assigned spot, the spot's physical markings confirming the assignment, 2 photographs, and a completed registration form with a one-time processing fee. The fee was $37. Once registered, his parking spot would be listed in the city's towing database. Any vehicle parked in the spot without authorization could be towed by any licensed towing company without Ray needing to call the building manager, without requiring prior warning, without any process beyond a call to a towing service. The towing company would come. The truck would go. The driver would not know it was happening until it was already done. Ray completed the registration that afternoon. He paid the $37. He received his confirmation. He went home. He made dinner. He waited. He did not have to wait long. Patrick parked in Ray's spot on a Saturday afternoon. Ray looked out his window. He saw the truck. He picked up his phone. He called the towing company he had already identified and pre-contacted. He gave them the spot registration number. He gave him his address. He gave them the make and plate number of the truck. It was told it would be 45 minutes. Ray made tea. He read for 40 minutes. He heard the tow truck arrive. He did not go to the window. He heard the truck being loaded. He heard the tow truck leave. He went to the window. His spot was empty. Clean. His. 20 minutes later, he heard Patrick come downstairs. He heard the sound a person makes when they look for their vehicle and it is not there. Patrick knocked on Ray's door. Ray opened it. Patrick said his truck was gone. He thought it had been stolen. He was going to call the police. Ray said, "It wasn't stolen, it was towed. Your truck was parked in my registered assigned spot. The towing company's number is on the sign I had installed last week." He pointed to the small sign he had mounted at the entrance to his spot. It had been there 9 days. Patrick had apparently not read it before parking there. Patrick said the towing fee would be hundreds of dollars. He said it seemed extreme. He said he had just forgotten. Ray said, "You've forgotten 14 times in 2 years. The towing company's number is on the sign. I hope you get your truck back without too much trouble." He closed the door. Patrick retrieved his truck. The fee was $340. Patrick never parked in Ray's spot again. Ray posted the story on Threads 6 weeks later. He described himself only as a retired professional with some relevant background knowledge. He did not describe his legal background specifically. The post was shared 412,000 times. The comments divided into 2 groups. The first group said some version of, "This is the most satisfying thing I have read this year." The second group said some version of, "I did not know this registration process existed, and I am going to use it immediately." Ray replied to several comments. He was patient and informative in his replies. He answered questions about the registration process. He explained which jurisdictions had similar systems. He recommended that people check their local traffic authority's website. Someone in the comments asked him what he had done for a living. He replied, "Something in law." He did not elaborate. He did not need to.
3 stories from Threads. Diane, who typed 1 accurate sentence, posted 1 screenshot she had every right to post, and watched a contractor lose his license without making a single strategic phone call. Kwame, who said nothing to the person who had erased his name 4 times, submitted his work under his own name, walked to a stage in front of everyone who mattered, and let the award do the talking. And Ray, who spent 1 afternoon, made 4 phone calls, paid $37, and solved a 2-year problem in 45 minutes on a Saturday afternoon over a cup of tea. What connects these 3 people is not strategy. It is not patience in the dramatic sense. It is not even justice, though all 3 of them found it. It is the simple act of knowing what system exists for exactly this situation and using it correctly. Diane knew the licensing board existed. Kwame knew the submission form existed. Ray knew the registration process existed. None of them invented anything. None of them needed to. The structures were already there. They just needed someone who had been ignored for long enough to finally use them. If these stories gave you something today, hit the like button and subscribe to Venture and Karma if you are not already here. We are back every single week with stories exactly like these. Real, documented, human. And next week's story is already in production. Tell me in the comments which of these 3 you are still thinking about. Diane and the screenshot. Kwame on the stage not looking at his partner. Or Ray closing his door, pointing at the sign with $37 and 30 years of traffic law behind him. I read every comment. Keep your eyes open, and I will see you in the next one.